Hey guys, and welcome back to the Akinon's YouTube channel. In this video, we will use the useState hook and make use of a form filling application in React. So let's get started. As you can see from my previous video, I have commented a lot of code and placed it bottom down here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on creating a simple form so that I can enter and input data inside it. So for that, first thing I'm going to create a form and inside this form I'm going to create two input fields. One will be obviously for my name, another one is going to be for my age. So something like this, and I do not need to mention this opening closing tags. In React you can simply create a tag this way where you do not need to mention the start and end always, like for the case of the input. And inside that I'm going to give name of keyword name. That is the value that I'm going to serve through the get property later that I'm going to show you, and placeholder of name. And the same thing goes for the age. So I will copy this and paste it in the bottom. Between that, I'll just apply a break tag. So the input field goes on the next line. So as you can see here, we've got this name. Obviously, I have to change the values, which I haven't done right now. Name. Let me remove this to change the keyword to age and the placeholder to age. So when I've done that, you can see now it says input name and age. Now again, I need to have a, let me just reload this. So the data is present here, Carl and age 20. Because obviously right now it's static, but we are going to change it using the useState hook. Now let me quickly create a button. And inside this button, obviously I'll say update data. And the button will be having an on click. Let me choose it from here. And now I'm going to create a function so that the data will get updated using this function. So I'm creating this update function, and the function can be written on top here. Function update is equal to an arrow function, and this arrow function will perform all the execution of the use states. But as you can see here, I haven't created any use state currently. So let's go on to do that. For this form, we will obviously be needing two use states. So let me just create the two use states: name, update name, fine, and use state, and let its default name be Carl, and likewise let age comma update age be a use state or having default age of 20. So now I've created my two use states, and now I can make use of the use state functions to update the values. But now you're thinking, how am I going to get these values? So it's really simple. What I will do is, instead of let's make some changes in my code. Instead of using the on click property, I will use the on submit property because I'm making use of the form. So on submit, and here I can make use of my display function. I'm sorry, update function. Update. Now, whenever, if you aren't aware of HTML, basic HTML and JavaScript, whenever you send in any form, there is an event getting sent that stores all the data about that form. So to access it, it is in the arguments present. You can simply just say event or any other keyword and you can access it through there. So let me show you console.log event. This is basically comes from the concepts of vanilla JavaScript. So if you know basic HTML, CSS and JavaScript, you would be knowing this concept. But I'm just thinking in case you guys aren't aware of it, I'm going to explain you. So whenever I click on this update data, let me zoom in here, update data, as you can see, okay, something came and it quickly went in. Again, because whenever we use form, whenever we submit details on a form, the web page automatically reloads. That is something as a default parameter provided to HTML forms. So to remove that default property, we will say event.prevent default. So it prevents all the default functions that take place, like reloading of the web page. So now if I save this, and I head back to the website that I'm working on and click on update data, it's sending me, can you see this array, or I'd say an object of information where we have many data entries, and we do not need to worry about all these data entries. We only need to worry about this target. This target is where all the data is present. So now I do not need to console log that event, but I need to make use of my use state. So first thing, I'll update my name, and from where I'm going to get this data is from event. Pretty simple, event dot target, target dot, and now I'm going to make use of these two key words. So that is name dot value. That is the first use state. Then update age, and instead of this time name, I'm going to use the keyword age. Event, or I like to call it in a more HTML manner, attribute instead of keyword. Update event dot target dot age dot value. If I save these files, now you can see that every use state function of ours is connected to the main form function. Let me just save everything right over again. And if I click on update data, as you can see on the bottom side, on the bottom right, you do not see any errors coming. So let me reload the web page once again and click on this update. You see here no errors coming, which means the form is working. But still, to check if the data is getting submitted or not, we need to enter some values. So let me just enter some dummy data and click on update data. As you can see here, we are not aware or sure that this data is getting saved in a use state because we aren't accessing and rendering them in the component. So to do that, we need to change this static data to refer it to the use state variable. So for that, I'm going to change name to name, and age inside of 20, I'm going to change it to age. That's really simple how it works. So let me reload my website again. So now you may think, where are these two values coming from? It's pretty simple. In the start here, I had defined the variable types and the data. So from there it's coming. Now name, let's keep the name to Ash and age of 30. If I update this data, as you can see, we updated our data entry from this component. So now from the start of this course till now, we have obviously learned how to create components. We have made use of props to add arguments, like something like arguments to our components. And now finally we are updating these values using a use state, of the most famous and common hook used in React. So I hope you found this video helpful and learned a lot. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the Hackinon's YouTube channel and share it with your friends.